I build a blacksmith's bench in my main base, and then I go up top above the mining base, where there's another Nefari camp, much bigger than the other one, and I find a Yogg priest. I start recording and I try dragging him down, but of course I try taking a shortcut by jumping down the mountain. Instead of just running down, I try taking a shortcut with a slave being dragged behind me. He wiggles around a lot, but he's okay. I'm not even sure what a Yogg priest will do, but it's good. Unfortunately, I had to grab onto the wall and save myself, which means I let go of the rope. I'm a bit angry now. I might have lost the slave. I hope he doesn't despawn or die from the fall. I climb back up the mountain, back to where I was, to try to find him, but it's of no avail. I don't see him. The only possible hope I have is that he fell down the mountain too, and that he somehow lived. I jump down the mountain, and I see the Yogg priest laying there. I thought he was dead at first, but he was just somewhat melted into the ground. Thankfully, he was alive. If you drop someone down a mountain unconscious, their unconscious body breaks the fall. It's good to know. I drag my soon-to-be companion, my Yogg priest, back to my base now, trying to avoid the hyenas, because I don't even have a one-headed weapon out. I don't have anything equipped. I should, but I don't even think I made one. Bit of a strange choice. I run back to my base, with no walls and no door. With no real protection, but as long as I can put him in the Wheel of Pain, then I can start fighting with my two-handed sword. Then I realize I fucked up, because I only have one lesser Wheel of Pain that can only hold one person, and the woman is still training there. But I don't give a shit about a tier 1 tanner, so I destroy her, my first slave, and I make room for the Yogg priest. Yes, it was pretty pointless, really, to take the tanner. I could have had both if I just built something, but oh well. I cared more about the Yogg priest than the tanner. Tier 1 tanner or a Yogg priest? My whole religion is Yogg. That's my only religion. I'm not even sure what benefits you get, but I had to have a priest. So, of course, the tier 1 tanner had to go, and I'll have to look out for another one. I guess the Yogg priest will be my first real, companion that I take. It's unfortunate, but I couldn't take them both. I realize I left a bunch of meat cooking in the campfire and never took it, so now it's just rotten meat. Oh well. That's also where I've been making my gruel for my slaves, or companions, which of course you take seeds you gather from harvesting random plants and plant fiber to make some sort of horrible seed soup thing. Now the journey begins. I've been seeing some sort of fire in the distance, up high in the background, and I wanted to find it. I climbed up a mountain and tried looking for it, but I couldn't see it anymore during the day. Either the fire's not going or I just can't see it, right? So I decided to build a bridge while I wait for nightfall so I can go looking for this torch, this fire that keeps bursting up in the night. I don't feel like going down there and building a whole foundation for 200 years of mining, right? So I just build a ceiling to connect, and then some stairs to jump over it because they don't perfectly connect. I go work on my base a bit more and take my Yogg priest out of the Wheel of Pain. I walk over to my chest very slowly with the Yogg priest, and I put some things away so I'm no longer over-encumbered. Then I go to a Yogg pit I've built just outside my base and put my priest there to worship Yogg for me instead of his tribe. After that, I go out on a journey again. I make my way across my bridge again, this time with enough darkness to see the fire. Unfortunately, by the time I climb up high enough, daylight has already come. But it's not too late. I can still see the tower. I've found it. I take in the sights while the sun is rising on my kingdom. And I make my way toward the tower. Unfortunately, before I've reached the bottom, a sandstorm is coming. I have no protection from this. And of course, I won't be able to see where I'm going through the sandstorm, so I can't journey very far. Running and sliding down the mountain in the sandstorm, I finally make my way down to the bottom. I try hiding among the plants, the cacti, or cactuses, I can't remember which one. It doesn't really protect me, so I have to bandage up to try to stay alive. I don't understand the logic of it, but let's just accept it. I make my way to a campfire, Unfortunately, they have no structures. I also don't even see anyone at the camp. Maybe they already fought some sort of animals. I run through the river, the stream really. Unfortunately, the water's too shallow to dive under. So yet again I have no protection. I managed to get some partial protection next to a rocky wall. But then I'm attacked by several alligators or crocodiles or whatever. I somehow haven't noticed. I of course have to fight them and take damage from the sandstorm, and then I go back against the wall. Standing there like the Blair Witch, and healing myself with bandages. Of course, once I finally find shelter and I finish fighting them all, the sandstorm has passed, making it pretty much pointless to have even come here. Yes, it really had no point. Oh well. I harvest the corpses of the crocodile, the crocodilians, whatever, or alligatorians, I don't know, I think I'm making these words up. Running through the sandstorm looking for shelter, I've lost my way, I no longer know where I'm going. So I try to get higher up on the mountain so I can yet again see that tower and see where I meant to go. Well, I mean, I'm not meant to do anything, I just want to go there, there's no good reason really. I try filling my water skins, but apparently I'm not in deep enough water. It's up to my knees, but apparently she can't fill up the fucking water skin when she's knee-deep in water. Okay, that's fine, whatever. As I run along the stream, I go down a waterfall, trying to find deeper water to fill my water skin up, so I'll have enough water for the journey to the tower. I find a bunch of spiders that attack me in the river. I bash away at them with my iron warhammer. I haven't seen any spiders in this game yet, and I think they must have come from somewhere. Some sort of cave, after I try harvesting their corpses with a skinning knife, getting all their chitin, which again I've never seen. Surely a useful material. I finally find deep enough water, and fill my water skins. I make my way up the path the spiders have come from, but then I see a bunch of fucking crocodiles, so I have to fight them. Then I see a big boss crocodile, a rare mob. I'm using my sword this time, the hammer doesn't seem to do any extra damage to him. I have to be careful because it does do a lot of damage. Slowly I chip away at his health. I dance a dance of crocodilian death. A dance of alligatorian destruction. Finally I slay the beast and I harvest their corpses with an axe. Unfortunately I only got demon blood from that, so I try a skinning knife, but I still don't get anything cool from it. I don't know what I'm supposed to harvest him with, oh well. I make my way back up the path of the spiders, because I'd like to find where their cave is before I go to the tower. Then I can have it marked on my map and come back here whenever I want. And it's not too far from my base, so that's pretty good. I find more spiders attacking me and I find that campfire from last night, I think. The spiders and the alligators or crocodiles have been fighting each other. As I make my way forward, killing crocodiles and spiders along the way, harvesting them, I finally see a path up the mountain. I see a vision of a ghost, but I can't make it out. I'm too busy fighting like fucking 10 spiders, you know, it's a bit distracting. They do add the cripple effect if they hit you with their webbing, which they can shoot, which of course would slow you down. They also can bite you and poison you, you know, with their venom. Other than that though, they don't seem to do much damage, and they don't take too long to kill. If you harvest them with a skinning knife, you get a bunch of chitin, and if you harvest them with an axe, you get some amount of chitin, but a good amount of ichor, which I guess is their blood or bile. Their bodily fluids. When I get closer, I find the name. It's called Skittering Cavern, and it's full of spiders. I make my way in and I find their egg sacs laying everywhere. I take my sickle out and harvest these egg sacs and get the gossamer, which I assume can be used to make silk at some point. The cave plays tricks on me. Gossamer seems to appear and disappear. That or it's just a bug, I don't know. I make my way forward and harvest more gossamer, banging my sickle against the stone walls and floors of the cave. Unfortunately, the spiders attack me for some reason while I'm harvesting their egg sacs. But that just means more bodies to harvest. It's a win-win spider situation. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with their stuff yet, but probably something, right? I cut down more and more spiders as I make my way deeper and deeper into their cave. After killing dozens of them and harvesting their egg sacs, their gossamer, I find one big giant spider. And despite having no healing potions and not dealing much damage, I decide to fight it, even though I could have easily just walked out the cave and done it later. Such is my hubris. I realize that I'm doing basically no damage to the spider. Even if I were to dodge every single attack, it would take me 100 fucking years to kill it. But I persist. I swing away, I swing and I swing. Eventually I even try using the warhammer, which is a bit unfortunate because I don't have it equipped. But I think, hey, maybe it's got a bunch of really good armor because of its carapace or something, right? But no, I just seem to do no damage no matter what. Of course, if it hits me, it does a lot of damage. So I have to be pretty careful. I also have to be careful not to get stuck in the walls of this relatively small area it's in. I'll speed this fight up a bit because it goes on forever. After about 10 minutes or more fighting this fucking spider and only getting it down to a bit below half health, I start to waver. I get really bored and tired of it, and I kinda just wanna go, really. But I keep fighting it. And because my wrist is getting kind of tired from clicking all the time, and I'm getting kinda tired of even fucking dancing around attacking this thing, I start making mistakes, I start slipping up, I take too much damage, and I have no way of healing. I mean, not in the fight anyway. I try running out. Unfortunately, the venom of the spider kills me. Yes, it's unfortunate. Now I have to make a very long journey to get my stuff back. Not just my armor and my weapons, my tools, but everything I harvested from the spiders and the crocodiles. Unfortunately, I died pretty close to the boss, so it's gonna be a nightmare. I'll have to run through all the spiders and up to the boss, take my stuff, and then try running out before I get killed again. Anyway, I just go ahead and decide to run there basically naked with no weapons. I make the long journey up and down the mountain, back to the skittering caverns, running away from everything that attacks me because I have fucking no way to fight, really. I have no idea how long until a body despawns, so I don't want to waste any time. I keep getting crippled and slowed down and poisoned from all their bites and their fucking web bullshit. But I persist. I run through the pile of spiders in the cavern, right up to the big boss, which is where my corpse is. I take everything, getting bodied by the spiders. Unfortunately, my health is extremely low and I've been poisoned. I have just a sliver of health left. I pull out a torch and I try running as close as possible to the entrance, so that next time, I'll at least have a chance of getting my stuff back. But it turns out I had just barely a drop of health left, just enough to live through the poison from the spiders. I keep running. I take one more attack from a spider. I just barely have a sliver of health left. I'm regenerating extremely slowly. And then at the entrance I see the crocodiles and the spiders fighting in a big fuck pile of fucking bodies. But then it turns out, because they're busy fighting, I can make my way out. You see, the crocodilians and the spiderillians are natural enemies, so it all works out for me. I slide down the rock. If I take even just a drop of damage from a fall, I'll be killed. I heal up with bandages, over and over again, trying to get back to my full health. And then I remember what the point of this journey was. To climb up some tower thing and see some sort of fire thing. I go back and harvest the spiders' bodies in the entrance of the cave after the crocodile versus spider fight to get the last bit of chitin and ichor from this journey. Then I gaze upon the tower, the reason I'd come out of here. And instead of just going back to my base to put everything away, I drop a few things and just barely have enough fucking strength to keep moving and carry everything with me. All my valuable possessions, for some reason. Well, the reason is that I'm too lazy to go back to my base and then run back here. I'm like, I'm right here. I might as well just drop a few things and keep going, because I'm just too lazy to go back. Plus, I already had to go back once when I died from the fucking spider. It's enough of that shit. So anyway, I continue